So, without further ado, will you marry me?
Oh my God! Of course, yes.
Yes. Why is that? My name is Jared Wilson, and from a man's perspective, I'm happy to share my journey with the hopes of changing these statistics for the better, while uncovering the challenges and opportunities with all relationships. It doesn't matter if you're single, in a relationship, it's complicated, you're engaged, married, or divorced. Let's talk about it. Welcome to The Walk. Hey everyone, Jared Primetime Wilson back in the building. Welcome to The Walk, episode 3. We are so excited that you guys are joining us back, and we are in store for the most important episode, maybe not most important, but a very important episode on this journey, and that is on communication. We share feelings and understand each other. This is probably the most important problem and challenge that all relationships have. Let's go to the facts. 65% of couples cite lack of communication as the most common factor for divorce. 43% of couples state they struggle to resolve conflict through communication. 70% of men who said their marriages ended due to communication problems. So it's not just me saying that, it's the facts. Communication is important. We all communicate different ways. How you communicate is most important. I know for Kiera and I, this was no different than any other relationship. Communication was a big challenge. So there's a couple things that our premarital counselors took us through to help strengthen our relationship and help us work on our communication skills day in and day out. So there's really two words that we're going to focus on. One is assertiveness. Assertiveness. The ability to express your feelings and ask for what you want in the relationship. This is very important because you have to be honest with your partner. Honesty is the best policy. Communication is the key. But if you can't be honest with your partner, if you can't tell him or her what you're feeling and what you need in the relationship, then you might as well just be in a relationship by yourself, because there's not a two-way street. But the second part into being assertive and saying what you feel you need and how you feel is assertive listening. So that is the ability to let your partner know you understand them by restating their message. So assertiveness, let me tell you how I feel and what I need. Active listening. I hear what you're saying, and let me let you know that I hear what you're saying, so that way we can move forward in the right direction. So it's a perfect example, for Kiera and I, we, even to be candid, last night we had an argument over the dumbest thing. She threw my food away outside of the fridge, and I was pissed off. And so the issue wasn't that necessarily she threw my food away. It was that she didn't ask me. I felt disrespected and I was mad about it. And so I didn't respond the right way. I yelled and was hot because my food was in the trash can and she felt like it should be in the way because I wasn't eating it and it was still in the fridge. And while most people are like, wow, that's what y'all argue about, honestly, I'm glad that's what we argue about, because that means we don't have real problems. We argue over petty, dumb stuff. But nonetheless, it was a perfect example of how communication plays out. The proper way to communicate was, care, sweetheart, love. It really hurt my feelings that you threw away my food because I wanted to eat it. But the real issue is that I feel that I wasn't respected because you felt you knew when it was best to throw my food away, even though you weren't going to eat it. We won't get into the details. That's not the point. The reaction from her should say, honey, Jared, sexy man that I love, I should not have thrown your food away. And I understand that you were going to eat it. And next time what I'll do is I'll ask you. Instead, I yelled, which made her defensive. Her active listening became not active, inactive, whatever word you want to use. And it became an argument back and forth about, why are you yelling? I'm right, you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. It went nowhere. What would our counselors have told us? There's about 10 key steps in communication skills. Follow along. 1, give full attention to your partner when talking. 2, focus on the good qualities of each other and praise each other. 3, be assertive using your statements. 4, avoid criticism. 5, if you can't avoid criticizing, then balance it at least with one positive comment. 6, listen to understand, not to judge. 7, use active listening. 8, avoid blaming each other and work together to find a solution. 9, if this is not working, start from the beginning and do a self-assessment on yourself to realize that, okay, maybe I'm not following one of these steps. And then ultimately 10, if you can't get anywhere, go to counseling. Don't be afraid of it. So going back to our situation. So if we followed these 10 steps, I could have said, you know what, I'm frustrated. Here's why, but not yelled. I could have let her know that, hey, I'm not upset with you, but this is where I'm feeling. And that would have let her not be inactive listening, but have active listening to at least hear what I'm saying and resolve. Just doing those things and just having the frame of mind, it's so much easier talking about it, but so much harder to do it. But if we were able to do that, it would have avoided a long argument that got dragged out all because we didn't take the proper time we needed. It just shows how easily a small situation can become massive because of our lack of communication ability. So take these steps in mind. We're going to work on activity next because I think it's most important to help you put these things in practice and not just tell you what to do, but show you the right ways to implement it in your relationship. So the activity is that you and your partner, next time you have dinner together or have a moment where you guys set up time to talk and work on your relationship, you're going to create a wish list of 3 things that you would like more of or like less of in your relationship. So 3 things that you're going to like more of or less of in your relationship. Each of you will write down your list individually, and then you're going to take the time to share it with each other and discuss how each other did with assertiveness and active listening. So just by doing that, you're going to read your 3 things and you're going to be able to say and practice with each other, this is how I feel and what I need. And the other person can practice, this is what I heard you said, and then respond. And then you guys work together to find that solution. Because ultimately, if you're with each other, that's the whole purpose. You're working together to move in one direction. So that will be the biggest piece. So that's communication. That's where we're going to leave it for today. One other thing that I'll give you guys is another way to work on your communication as a tip and trick is that each day, give your partner at least one genuine comment and genuine compliment, genuine compliment that should be general or specific. So not just, hey, sweetheart, you look beautiful today. That's a very nice compliment. But maybe if you get more specific that I love the way you did your hair or I love how you handled X, Y, or Z, it's going to go a long way in your relationship in terms of just building up the communication. That's all for now. We'll go on to our next episode, which will actually be talking about conflict resolution and stress. And until then, we'll talk to you soon. Jared Wilson, talk to you later. Peace.